I have completed the base for my bag design, so I'm going to link a video in the description that is going to show you how I create this base because I use this quite frequently. I am marking where I did my last round of increases, and then what I began to do was work in continuous rounds without creating a join that you could see here. And rather than counting all of my stitches, I just count my rows, and when I reach this point is where I am starting the detailed section of the bag. The reason for that is because when you work in rounds of single crochet without having a proper start and end of each round, and you just go continuous, your stitches actually build on top of each other, and so your seam does not stay straight like this. It would not line up with this seam as I want it to for the detailed section. So I'm just going to stop right here in line, and this is where I will start the detailed portion. So the box stitch looks similar to a shell stitch. Some people might actually consider it a shell stitch. You can kind of call it whatever you want, but basically the way that it is worked is that this first round is going to be created with a series of double crochets, and then the next round that gives it its boxy look, you're using some post stitches, and then the third round you have to create a foundation of chain stitch and double crochet stitch combinations to then work your next set of boxes or shells. The box stitch is worked in multiples of 10 plus 2, and so that would be if you are working it in back and forth rows, but because I'm working in the round, I'm pretty confident that it will be worked in multiples of 10 plus 1 because I'm going to essentially be counting my last single crochet as 2 stitches. So here I have a total of 142 stitches, which is a multiple of 10 plus 2, which is what's required to work it in rows. But like I said, I believe I'm going to need one less. So I'm going to just kind of wing it. I'm going to mark this stitch here because this is going to be the beginning of the box stitch rounds. And I am going to work the repeat around to make sure that if what I'm thinking is correct, I'm going to need one less stitch, which means once I reach this stitch marker, all I'm going to do is just skip it because it's one stitch and it's not going to affect my sizing. So let's get this started. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to skip 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. Then we are going to double crochet in this 5th stitch, which seems a little bit tight, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna see what happens. Now I'm gonna make 4 more double crochet. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to chain 1, and then we are going to place 5 more double crochet. Skip 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches and single crochet in the 5th. That's creating this first shell. And then we need to skip another 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches and place 5 double crochet here. Chain 1, place another 5. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in the 5th. So the repeat is skipping 4 stitches, placing 5 double crochet, a chain 1, and then 5 more double crochet in that next stitch, and then again skipping 4, placing a single crochet, and repeating that all the way across. So let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the 5th stitch. 5 double crochet, chain 1, and then another 5 double crochet, skip 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in the next, and then again, skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna do our 5 double crochet, chain 1, and 5 double crochet. Okay, so I made my way around, and as I expected, I have these extra stitches here. So in the pattern itself, what I'm going to do is in this last row of single crochet, I'm going to add a decrease section so that this final round, instead of being 142 stitches from the increases that we used to create this, it will be 140 stitches so that you all won't have these 2 extra stitches here. But I have 2 extra stitches. I'm just going to hide it in mine. You will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of these 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet clusters around. And now we are going to do our next round of stitches. What we have to do is we're gonna create a chain 1 and turn, and we have to make a single crochet in this last single crochet that we just worked, and then we are going to work front post single crochets in these double crochet stitches. So we're going to insert our hook from back to front to back and make a single crochet stitch, and then again from back to front, and then around the back, make our single crochet stitch. And we are going to repeat that 5 times, well, for a total of 5 times. All right, so after we do 5 front post single crochet around these double crochet stitches, we are going to chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, and then again do our 5 front post single crochets around the previous 5 double crochet stitches. When we reach this single crochet that was placed between these 10 double crochet clusters, we are going to again front post single crochet around that, and then continue our way around, placing front post single crochets around these double crochets, skipping the chain 1 space with another chain 1 space, and we're just going to keep going with that. I'm just curious about how this is looking so far. So let's see. So you can see that this is kind of pushing these forward. It doesn't seem to be pinching over here along the base like I was worried about with that skipping those 4 stitches. It looks like this. It looks like these front post stitches seem to be kind of spreading the shell out a bit and creating more of a fanned look to it, which I think is adding some density and width to these stitches. So I don't think that this tightness between these shells is going to be a problem. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. Made my way all the way around, and for rows of this, you're supposed to place 1 single crochet in your last single crochet and not do a front post single crochet. However, I am working in rounds, so what I'm gonna do is so to end this round, I am going to find my first single crochet, well, front post single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch and join to that. Now let's just take a look at this all laid out nice. I did pinch a little bit, but you know what? It's got a good amount of stretch, so I think it's going to be fine. For this bag, I'm going to be doing this detailed stitch section in 3 colors. I'm going to be using Succulent, Terracotta, and my main color, Bay Leaf, is also going to be in there as well. So now that I have created my first round of these box stitches, which really are, they're They're very shell-like. I am going to switch now to I'm gonna do terracotta first. So here's where I finished off. I'm gonna come and cut my yarn and find my center, and then I'm gonna pop back in and show you how we're gonna start this. All right, I am popping in because I have made quite a bit of progress on this beautiful box stitch market bag that I've been working on. I am loving the change in colors. It's working up basically exactly as I had pictured in my head. Now, the only issue that I ran into was when I was working from down here, what I initially tried to do was pick up my yarn where I left off and continue with the next rounds. But what was happening is it just felt really sloppy over here to do that. And so what I decided to do is that at the end of each section of color, what I'm doing is I am cutting my yarn, and instead of continuing where I finished, we're jumping back over to start at a different point in the repeat because it's just that much cleaner. So if you look, you could see over here where I tried to join in this next color and work my way around. And what it did is it kind of creates this little bit of a, it just looks sloppy. It's a little knotted right here, and then this ends up being the join for the rounds, and it just looks sloppy. So what I did is I started experimenting in this area with cutting the yarn and attaching at different points within this round repeat, so that this way I could figure out the best way to move forward on that, which I did. And if you look in this area, you can't tell where things begin and end. Well, this might give you a hint, but you cannot tell where the rounds are beginning and ending when we change colors. So I have reached the point in the bag where I'm going to do my last set of box stitches right here in the main color, which is bay leaf, this beautiful green. And I'm going to show you how we are doing every round by cutting and attaching at a different point from where we finished. So here we have all of the ends working our way up. I am cutting them at the end of each section. So we have a few continuous rounds where there's no cutting, and we are cutting only when we change colors. So when you end for this repeat, you're ending down in this, I'm not sure exactly what to call this. You're not ending it in the bulk of the shell detail. You're ending in this section right here, which creates a lot of, it's just a lot of stitches. This gets a little bit messy. So then trying to add in a new color makes it just that much more sloppy. So that's why we're doing it this way. So the end of each color section, we're cutting. And then what we're gonna do is you can choose, I have my stitch marked here for where the join is. So you can choose when you come up to either go before or after that marked stitch. So each round also you have to keep in mind that these alternate. So from this stitch marker, I am jumping back and forth. But after you've worked your base of your bag and you've done this first set of box stitch, from this point forward, we are cutting our yarn at the end of every color for a color change. So coming up to here, we completed these blue ones. I've cut my yarn, and now to start a new round, which is what you would be doing here in this next color after the base, what we will do is we are going to, from the stitch marker, come up and choose either to the right or left of it. So to start, you have two chain one spaces within the box stitch, right? You have the chain one that's created, you have the chain one that is created from the double crochet set, and you also have the chain one that is created from the front post single crochets. So we have to pick up the chain 1 within the front post single crochet, because this is used to anchor front post single crochets here. So we're picking up this one in the back. What we're going to do is place our hook through that chain 1, grab our yarn, pull it through, and we are going to create a slip stitch right here, just like that, to attach our yarn, pull it tight. And then I have been trying 2 ways of doing this. You can either keep it like this and continue with the pattern, or if you would like, you can add a single crochet. Now, a single crochet is going to be easier to join to, but by omitting the single crochet, it's going to create less bulk in this area. So you could try it both ways. I am finding that I prefer to ignore placing the single crochet here. I'm going to, because it's more proper to place the single crochet, I'm going to put it in the pattern to put the single crochet here, but you can very well skip it and just continue on. So what we're going to do, I'm skipping the single crochet. If you would like, you can add it. But what we're going to do now is we are going to chain 3, okay, and then this could loosen up a little bit on you, but that is fine. When we weave in all of our ends, we will tighten that up. So chain 3, skip all of these stitches, and you're going to come in over here between these shell stitches on the box stitch, and in that single crochet, you're going to insert your hook, place a double crochet, chain 2, and place another double crochet within that single crochet stitch. Chain 3, and you're going to single crochet in the chain 1 space of the single crochets, the front post single crochets. Chain 3, and then double crochet. Oops, I picked up the wrong stitch. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in this chain 1, chain 3 again, and then double crochet, chain 2 in this single crochet stitch, and then we're going to keep repeating that across. Okay, so here we are, we've come all the way around. Just to recap, by placing a single crochet in the chain 1 space of the front post single crochet, chaining 3, skipping all these other single crochets to place a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet within the single crochet that's between the box stitches, chain 3, single crochet again in the chain 1 space, and repeating that all the way around until we come back to where we reattached our yarn. And right here, what we're going to do to finish this off is we are going to chain 3. And then, like I said earlier, I am choosing to skip the single crochet just because I feel that it gets bulky here. And now I'm going to slip stitch again in that same stitch. That's going to help to keep this bulk down. If you chose to do a single crochet, you would slip stitch to the top of the single crochet. Now what we're going to do, whether you slip stitched or single crocheted, you are going to chain 1 and you will turn. We will again chain 3, and we are going to single crochet in the double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the double crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in a double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in a double crochet, and we're going to keep repeating that all the way across. So you are mirroring your number of chains and placing 1 single crochet in each single crochet or double crochet stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around until you reach the beginning where we started, and I will show you how to join when we get back to that. All right, here we are coming to the end. So to finish this round, what we will do is we are going to chain 3, and then here you have to do a single crochet stitch. The reason is because this single crochet stitch will need to be used in order to place a front post single crochet after we do this next round of double crochets. Okay, so here we have our single crochet. I'm going to chain 1, turn, and now get myself a little bit more yarn so that I'm not having to pull it away from the camera. And now what we're going to do is we are going to be working our double crochet stitches to create the box stitch. So you chain 1, you turn, and we are going to place 5 double crochet within this double crochet chain 2 space, and we are working completely around both sets of chain 2s. So 5 double crochet, double crochet, chain 1, and do a second set of 5 double crochet for a total of 10 double crochet separated by a chain 1 in this set of chain 2 stitches. Once we've created this set of 10 double crochet stitches separated by a chain 1, what we're going to do is, instead of using these previous 2 rounds that we created, we are going to jump forward and use the other chain 1 space on the double crochet round. We will single crochet in that chain 1 space, and then we are going to continue back into the last 2 rounds that we created in our color that we are currently using, and we are going to place another 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet stitches. Five double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet in this chain 2 space, and then jumping forward into the box stitch from the previous round set of colors, we're going to chain 1 and then again jump back into the color that we are working on and place 5 double crochet, chain 1, and 5 double crochet in the chain 2 space. So you can see how this is working up. We've got our 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet in the previous chain 2 space, and then we are anchoring within the chain 1 space, this chain 1 space that we are creating, we are anchoring in the previous one that we created, and then jumping back into the color that we are currently using. So we're going to continue with this repeat all the way around, and then we will do the single crochet front post round. Coming around to the end of my round, I've just completed a set of 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet. I'm going to single crochet in the chain 1 space of the previous color on the front of the bag. I'm going to create another set of 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet. We're going to place the single crochet in that chain 1 space of the color before, and now what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch into the beginning of the round. Okay, so this is where things get kind of bulky and messy, which is why I chose to do some slip stitches here instead of stacking all those single crochets together. Again, you can choose to connect all of this however you would like, but I find it to be cleaner when there's just the 2 slip stitches and then the 1 single crochet. So we slip stitch into that round, and now we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and we are going to be working front post single crochets in all of our double crochets while also creating this chain 1 space again as well. So we've chained 1, we've turned, we're going to come into this first double crochet, and we're going to do a front post single crochet. We're going to keep going around. So I've got 5 front post single crochets around these 5 double crochets. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, and now place 5 front post single crochets around the next 5 double crochet. Now to work a front post single crochet, what you're going to do is, instead of working in the top of the stitch, you work around the post of the stitch. So you insert your hook from back to front, and then you're coming around the post from the front to the back so that your hook is essentially underneath the post. You're going to yarn over and just create your single crochet as you normally would. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both. Make sure that you're chaining 1 to skip the chain 1s in the 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet sections. And the same thing on the single crochets, so bring your hook from back to front, around the stitch to the back, and then create your single crochet as you normally would. Continue this all the way around, and what that is going to do is it will flip the top of these double crochet stitches to the front of the bag. Here I am coming to the end. I'm going to place my last few front post single crochets. To finish this off, what we have to do is, again, see how bulky this gets with all the joins and turns, but that's okay. But we're going to come right here, and we are going to do our best to somehow sneak a front post single crochet in there. So if we were continuing with our other 2 colors, this is the point that you would cut your yarn, pull this all the way through, and then you would take your next color. In this case, it would be the terracotta, and either choosing to go to the right or the left, you would rejoin in one of these chain 1 spaces and continue around as we just did for the green. But this is my last round of box stitches. So now what I'm going to do is begin finishing this off so that we can create a strap. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I've decided that I actually do want to cut this yarn. The reason for that is because the way that I want to finish this, I am going to skip the single crochet here, this stitch, so I don't want to be starting in that stitch. So what I want to do is, now that I've cut it, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to try my best to kind of bring all of this together to hide this join a little bit more. Now, each set of these double crochet stitches that create the boxes are 5 double crochet, chain 1, 5 double crochet. So it is a total of 11 stitches. We have 14 of these all the way around, so if you multiply that out, that's 154 stitches. What we're going to do is we are going to reattach in the chain 1 space in the center of the shell. Again, I'm just going to slip stitch to join because I'm going to end with a single crochet. And now I am going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll do, let's say, another single crochet in the next, and then we will do a half double crochet, and then another half double crochet, and then a double crochet. And now I believe what that should do is fill this space in nicely. Now working our way back up the side, skipping this single crochet, we are going to double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet again, and then single crochet, and then we will slip stitch in the chain one space. So let's see. I think that fills it in nicely. I've got this little bit of a gap here. I'm not sure that that bothers me because we've got all these spaces going down. If you can't tell, I'm kind of figuring this out right now because I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this just yet, but I think that works. I don't know if I said it, and if you can't tell, I am not working in the double crochet stitches that we put the front post single crochet stitches around because I don't want to lose that detail. I am working in the front post single crochet stitches. Okay, I'm coming to the end of this, so I just put my slip stitch in my chain one, and I'm going to do a single crochet, a half double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, skip the single crochet, do another, oh, not a half double crochet, skip the single crochet, do a double crochet, and then another half, a single, and a single. And now I am back to where I originally slip stitched in. The base of the bag was worked in all single crochet stitches without turning, so that this way you have the front of the single crochets on the bag to give you these beautiful V's. Almost has a bit of a knitted look. So we're going to repeat that up here. So now where you had to turn at the end of your rounds in this portion of the bag, we are no longer doing that. So what I'm gonna do is, again, to avoid some of this sloppiness, I am going to just begin working in continuous rounds, starting with this slip stitch, and just start single crochet. All right guys, so I got way far ahead of myself and I finished this up and I did my straps. I initially worked around and I did not like that this was kind of puckering along the way because how this was pinching in, it wasn't working properly. So there are some decreased stitches in here, you can see them. It actually gives a nice little detail in between the box stitches. And then I initially had done just one strap, but once I tried to use it, didn't really like it, so I pulled everything out here. I pulled this out, I pulled my strap out, and I reworked all of this and created 2 straps, which works so much better for this bag. I did not record any of it because I just, was working during nap time, and that's what happens. So please make sure that you head on over to the blog post, which has the free pattern for this bag, or you can purchase a printable PDF on Etsy or Ravelry, or if you would like, you can grab an all-in-one kit from Lion Brand, which includes the printable PDF as well as the yarn. That is kind of your best bang for your buck, because you get the yarn, you get the PDF to print, and usually Lion Brand is having a sale, so you can grab the yarn at a discount. Currently all these Succulent may be out of stock at the moment, but I'm sure it will be back in stock soon. A great color that you could swap this out for would be Dragonfly. That I know is definitely in stock right now while I'm recording. Or you could do, I don't know, let's see. This is Camel. Camel would be a great swap out for this. Or you could just change this up altogether. Like, let's see. What do I have? I mean, how cute would this be if you did Dragonfly as the base and then had Dragonfly, Ecru, and Camel going through with the box stitches? I mean, there are just so many options with 24/7 cotton that you really can't go wrong. So if you ever go to make any of my kits and find that a color is out of stock, whether the bag is made in one color or multiple colors, do not be scared to play around with color, because 24/7 cotton has a ton and they all look wonderful together. So I really hope that you enjoyed making this bag with me. I hope that this tutorial was helpful and that it made sense. Please make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for my next free pattern.